Oh, is it me?
How's it going there, old champ, old partner, old buddy?
Is it me?
The weather's nice.
I don't know. I haven't even opened my curtains. It's still dark.
What time does the sun rise in Japan?
It's the land of the rising sun, George. It always rises.
Well, I had no fears about that.
It's in a perpetual motion of rising.
I just asked what time, not whether or not it rises at all.
It's in a perpetual motion of rising. It just non-stop rises. It rises and falls and rises and falls.
At what point does it stop rising if it's in a perpetual motion of rising?
I think it's about 7:10, which is a good hour away from now.
Land of the rising sun, my butt. The sun rises earlier here in Atlanta, Georgia than it does over there, apparently.
Is this are we starting? Is this what we're doing right now? Is this the new way of starting the Dad and Sons podcast?
Is this how we just ease our ways in with a topic of conversation?
Exactly.
Wow.
I kind of like it.
So Liam's over there in the land of the rising sun, and the sun hasn't even risen yet. So that's
true.
That's another example of how great of a start we're having here. Like just in general between the three of us.
My God, it's early.
Do whoever does it first gets to pick, like whoever does the intro first for that week gets to pick the topic.
The topic. Yeah.
'Cause I'll pick some topics.
So tell me about them sausages.
So
welcome to Dad and Sons. There you go. There's my contribution for this week.
yay! Thank you, Liam.
I'll just go talk about the game you guys forced me to play.
We didn't force you.
Wait, are we talking about Resident Evil 2?
David Cage's
we're talking about David Cage's nonsense.
Yes.
Oh.
Not R.E.
Yeah, so if anybody listened to last week's episode, I pretty much just begged Matt to play Detroit out of scientific experimentation, of course. Not out of pleasure.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So let's just dive right into it, Matt. How amazing and Game of the Year award-winning RPG Australian Game of the Year is it?
Cannes Film Festival award winning.
You say that, but when I looked up the reviews for this, they were not bad.
Yeah,
No,
they're
that's what
okay. They're okay.
Google users are like at 98% for
Holy
this.
shit, really?
Yeah, no, it's got like a cult following, weirdly enough.
No, I mean, I get it. I get it. Like, I enjoyed renting Heavy Rain and all that and just playing it through with a couple people on the couch and people just picking stuff. But I don't see it being like a game like, oh my God, I must have it. I must have it. Like, I was totally okay not playing this game. But you guys... You guys told me to play it. I was slightly curious about it, and it's David Cage trying to be deep.
Yep. It's adorable.
Let me tell you, like, okay, let me set it up. Okay, like, he talks about racism in here a little bit. Like, he has a couple lines where he compares robots, the robots, okay?
Yes.
And what they're going through to black people.
Yeah.
How do you feel in particular, Matt?
It was just a slight line from a black person saying this to a white android, okay? And I was like, whoa, like, from that, it was near the endish of the game too. So you're like already like, this game is like, okay, the main menu girl is really off and weird and is kind of cringy, but it's kind of like the rest of David Cage's games. It's like all right for like a movie day. You just sit home and just play this for a little bit.
A date night at home alone.
But then he starts going like deep, like, and you could see it. You can see it, like he's trying to say something. And I'm sorry. When you know where this is coming from too, on top of this game, let me tell you something, David Cage, you're not deep. You're not woke. You're not nothing.
Judge him by his work.
Holy shit. Wow. There's another line like that too, that Marcus says, and saying, oh, the humans, they're always fighting about the color of their skin. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, come on, guys. Come on. And during this whole, like, there's only one example of the humans treating an android fairly. And it's only with Marcus's story. There's only one good example. You see like little things, but mostly just one good example. Everything else, you just see androids getting mistreated like they're slaves. And when you really think about the whole story, you're like, man, this story is shit. This story is garbage. It's, like it just like, okay, like the androids they don't become free thinking until they kind of break the wall, I guess.
Did they become human in that moment?
I guess, but I feel like it's a very one-sided story, you know?
Wait, you want to see like the other side of the story?
No, it's more, it's like, oh, the human man is trying to hold me down.
Right.
You know, I'm gotta rise above, and I played a peaceful route. For anyone wondering.
So did you make the Android Revolution leader spray paint "I Have a Dream" when the
yes.
choice came?
Yes. I guess because he had like a mixed guy playing the character that he could just kind of put that in there. I bet he's like, oh, I want this line. I want Martin Luther King's line in there. I gotta make sure the main character Mark is mixed, at least some type of black.
So you saved all the black people. I mean, androids.
Right.
When you see a lot of those shots, when like you see them murdering androids, it's a lot of them are black. It's just it's like they're trying to hit home some type of thing. I wish if I was reviewing it, I would clip it all and put it into one little video for people to see, like all the times where, white android looks off to the side and let me not say it like that. Let me not say that. What's Kara?
Oh, the girl who looks after the kid.
The girl, yeah. Looks off to the side and sees like some black man getting shot. And it's just like, and then put together with the line, it's just like, okay, I guess you're trying to make us think about this. And I don't know, what do you guys think about when you're watching stuff like that? You're not even realizing it. Like, it's just like, you're not thinking about, like, so what's the point? What's the point of like trying to make it a black thing? Or like a subtle black thing? I don't know. I'm going down a hole right now. I don't want to go down.
I guess it's supposed to make it feel relatable.
Relatable? That's like... I don't know. I don't know. Like, does that feel relatable to you?
Well, of course it doesn't feel relatable to me.
Yeah, but I mean, he's doing this for a mass audience, so it's just a weird route to go. I guess. I don't know.
But it's also like the easiest, most shallow route to go.
Yeah, it is super shallow. Like,
literally, I have a dream. Like, there's an "I have a dream" button at some point.
And like, no matter what you do at the end. Yo, if you haven't played this game, who cares? I'm going to spoil something. Like, it's not that serious.
Let me mark it down. Oh, big deal.
Oh my God.
Spoiler alert for David Cage's Detroit Become Human.
No matter what you do, like this big, huge black guy named Luther joins the crew for Kara's story.
Oh, he's named Luther.
And a little girl. And no matter what you do, like, he dies.
Oh, and he dies. Luther dies.
I keep restarting. I keep picking different routes. Keeps dying. I didn't even know you could restart until later.
Oh, that's deep. David's so deep inside of...
It's just, I'm like, why does he have to die? I'm going to double check that. So I don't, and I'll save Luther. Save Luther. You can't save the big black guy.
The big black guy leading a revolutionary of oppressed minorities named Luther.
Homeboy looking like the guy from Green Mile. Yeah, man. He's the guy from Green Mile for sure.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. He did kind of look like that guy.
Yeah. Did you beat it? Did you play it?
I watched through the Best Friends playthrough. May they rest in peace.
What did you think about it? What do you remember from it?
I remember thinking it was pretty wholesome and cute and actually like a fun time unexpectedly, but also kind of expectantly, because the first half of David Cage games are pretty like okay. And this is the one where it...
I mean, it's a stretch, but okay.
Which one has like a bad first half other than like some real obscure shit like Omnicron?
Jason.
Heavy Rain begins okay. I remember being only like really bored during the scenes where the like JC Denton's secret agent was clicking his glasses for an hour and not doing anything else at the desk.
Where when you were Deus Ex Machina not in the room when the murderer was doing. That still angers me. It still angers me. That you, in one of the most crucial scenes of the game that then has a flashback to at the end.
Oh no, another spoiler warning for more David Cage games.
It's Heavy Rain. Nobody gives a damn. The whole fucking time the character you were playing as was the fucking murderer, and it just took control away from you for one scene.
Oh my god, I gotta stamp this down, holy shit.
It's Heavy Rain. Nobody gives a damn.
Yeah, dude, if you haven't played that crap.
I should use that audio clip for the spoiler.
God, it's so garbage. It's early, and we're talking about David Cage. I'm fucking
hilarious.
All
right, so just I'm gonna get to what you're saying, Liam, in a sec. I want to say something about Luther though. So if you don't steal the tickets,
okay,
all right, from this couple that's also trying to get out the city, right, with a child. Luther dies because you have to go through the boat.
So the only way the big black guy survives is by stealing.
By stealing.
What a deep and complex metaphor.
Yeah, let that. Yeah, you know, let's not think about it too deeply. Maybe I'm thinking about it too deeply.
Maybe David Cage is a massive hack.
Okay, yeah, he is.
Or maybe David Cage is just like actually racist and it's not a deep metaphor. And he just has the black characters steal
considering he insults Romanian gypsies.
Yeah, the lawsuit.
Well, it's Kara's choice. It's Kara's choice, though. I don't want to make it seem like that. It's Kara's choice.
Well, it's not. It's David Cage's right.
David's choice.
All right, everything I've said about black characters getting shot and stuff like that, like, grain of salt. Take that as a grain of salt, audience. But let's talk about the game. The choices that you make, okay, are so vague. Like when something crazy is happening and all you have is grim or spiteful
eat or not eat,
whatever. Like, yeah, like it's just like they're giving you like these words. You don't know what your character's gonna say. You know, like there's a lot of times where you're talking to Hank with Connor, which are my favorite characters.
Oh yeah, the detective duo.
Like Connor is my favorite, absolute favorite. I played that game because of Connor and Hank.
So not because we forced you to.
Okay, I feel like that's a lot of the fan base. Yeah. The fan base feels that way too.
It was a great ass character. But like there's certain conversations what would happen, and I sent you a screenshot in Discord. Of like what it was saying, I was just like, forget this game. It was hold on, you have to cut this. Hold on, I really gotta find it. Yes, exactly. And I'm like, what are these choices? What does this mean?
They're adjectives.
I was playing with a friend. I was like, what does this mean? I paused it. I was like, what does this mean? Like, it has nothing to do with what she just said. It has nothing to do with it. What the hell?
You sound really mad.
Because, like, oh my, like, why is this game? Why is?
Are you okay?
Oh my god! Good thing I don't work for IGN because I would have gave this game a 2. Freaking dumbass. God.
So in the interest of experimentation, this worked. This whole experiment worked.
Yeah, it's a game that fights with you, and it makes you feel bad because you have a limited amount of time to answer these vague-ass options, and they don't really say what you want, and sometimes the characters won't like it, or go a different route, and sometimes these choices take you down different paths that you can't come back from. You're not gonna like that. Like, that's not a good experience, I think, for the player. In my opinion, I like that in itself is like a sin, I feel.
What's better, Bandersnatch or Detroit Become Human?
Oh, Bandersnatch is better in terms of choices. In terms of like overall like epicness, I would say obviously like Detroit, because there's some good stuff in there. In Detroit, like the chase scenes,
did
the
look
fight
like
scenes,
silly good fun.
Yeah, like the those are like the best. What do you call those when you're inputting like commands while you're fighting?
QTEs, quick time events.
Those are the best QTEs in any game I've played.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
fun.
is that like a claim
really
to fame
fun.
though? Because
it's not.
How
It's
done
not.
has the industry been with QTEs for like 15,000 years now?
Yeah, it's done. Like I feel like he should move on to something else. To be honest, but
Like
there's a
jail.
space for this stuff.
Okay.
But that's it. There's some good stuff. There's a lot of bad. I would say if you want to play this game, play with a couple friends, maybe drink a little bit, you enjoy it better.
Before we legally implicate ourselves further, let us rewind a bit to remember about how much it would suck to be a reviewer for IGN, in which event you might play through RE2 only once, like a nub scrub, and give it an 8.8, and end up having like that review needing to be rewritten and
what
the
do
score
you mean? He played it once?
rethought. Anyways,
I feel a little bad for him. Like, he should have known better. I think it was Damien Hatfield as well, who's a pretty IGN veteran. I feel pretty bad for him because
yeah,
I think he probably finished Leon's campaign, which in itself is most definitely a 9 out of 10. But then it's not clearly late. For anyone who doesn't know, back in Resident Evil 2, the original version, you had Leon A and Claire B. Or you did Claire A and Leon B. And if you started with
Which
Leon...
one is better?
It was vastly different to starting... Well, it wasn't vastly different, but it was different to starting as Claire, and then Leon B would be you finishing the game as Leon, and Claire B would be you finishing the game as Claire. Whereas in Resident Evil 2, the remake, they're a little less varied.
Really?
Then they cover a lot of the same ground. There is a lot you're
But I'm
doing
guessing
as
it's still
Claire that
worth
you've already done as
replay.
Leon, and I imagine vice versa as well. As I have started with Leon, you both have started with Claire. So what this IGN reviewer has made a mistake in is that he probably knew that piece of information, and what happened is he started a new game and chose the opposite character from whom he chose in the beginning. But what he didn't realize is he should have chosen new game brackets second run.
Oh, yeah, it's like a special new game.
Yeah, it's a special
plus
new
option
yeah,
on the
because it's
menu.
confusing. Because when you finish one run, it will say
no.
this is the fault of Capcom. I feel like as soon as you finish one run with a character, your menu will look as follows. It will say continue, new game, second run. And it's rather confusing as to why. But if you go to second run, it only has the option for the character you haven't played.
Yeah, so what my concern is, though, is how surely he's seen a similar menu option before at some point.
I mean, that's still mislabeled
anyone
a
who's
little bit.
played Nier Automata like last year would have been familiar with this.
But the difference there is most of the endings in Nier Automata only take like an extra 2 to 3 hours on top. But this is like a whole brand new playthrough. But even then, even if you chose Claire B or Leon B, the game is the second part of the game doesn't have vastly different changes like it did in the original, which I think I've seen some people, now the game is out and some people are playing it, some people complain about. But it doesn't bother me.
Well, hold up, because you're way past that, and I am not past that at all. I'm way far away from passing that.
Let's surface level talk about it, so then George can fuck off and we can talk about it.
I'm at the right. Gee, okay. I'm at the U-shaped door. I'm at the chess pieces. How early on am I?
Well, this is the thing. A U-shaped door. Matt, do you know a U-shaped door?
A U-shaped door? No.
Wait, the chess pieces. You put chess pieces in an electrical box?
Oh.
Oh, does this not happen?
Yeah. I know where you are. I know where you.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you mean like a U-boat submarine based door, like a really heavy duty door.
Yeah, I think that's why I might have called it that.
U-shaped door. So where you put so when you have to go and you're in the.
Wait. Okay, hold on. George, you're playing Claire.
Yeah.
Have you reached like this place where you have to get like security like little chips to put on your bracelet?
Oh, okay.
If you haven't reached that, then you're not close.
yeah. Okay, yeah, maybe not.
Okay.
I tell a lie.
Let's rewind. Point is, I'm like midway through.
Yeah, definitely cut that.
You guys have beaten your respective campaigns. Matt's Claire, Liam is Leon. And I am gonna have to like step out when the late game spoilers come in. But I've played.
If nobody realized at this point, this is the first time on Dad and Son as well. All three of us have played the same game,
and I'm behind a fucking course. But I was at my girlfriend's all weekend. I was at my girlfriend's all weekend. The game came out on Friday. I played all day Friday live on stream in front of everyone, and then I played like during the afternoon on Saturday. And then when I came back on Monday, I played again on Monday. I've had like 3 good 9-hour sessions. I've had like 9 hours of 3 good 3-hour sessions. The game's been out for 4 days. Wow.
I mean, that's no excuse. I finished the game in 6 hours.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know, actually. I really don't know.
I mean, well,
I'm playing on hardcore mode, so yeah, that might explain one thing, but it's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah,
it's
so let's talk about it
digging
at a surface level of like our enjoyment of it as a game.
You guys played normal or hardcore?
I played normal on Leon.
normal, man. Oh no, sorry, I played easy mode. No, sorry. I'm
Whoa,
joking.
get out, David.
Well, there is
Never.
an easy
Get
mode.
out
Never.
of here, David.
Never. Not that there's anything wrong with easy mode.
So yeah, hardcore mode like has really great pacing to it.
So does
where
normal.
It feels like there were 3 different occasions where I got a new critical supply right exactly where I needed it. There was like ink ribbons exactly where you would want to save, but I previously ran out of ink ribbons earlier.
With hardcore, like the only differences are that you have to ink ribbon save like in Resident Evil 2, and also that enemies take more. They need more damage to kill them.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be
they're actually-
disgusting.
Yeah, because
Wait,
they
what?
That would be
they are
disgusting.
pretty fucking bad in
What?
normal as well.
They're bad in normal. Like, all right. So it took me a while to realize this, but the combat knife is very useful.
Yes.
Yes.
You shoot them 3 times in the head. If they don't bust open, they fall on the floor. You take that knife and you just start getting.
Do you know what? I used an even more cheesier tactic where I would shoot them in the knee, and then when they go to grab you, so like you bait them into grabbing you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You bait them into grabbing you, and what happens is if you sort of time it correctly, you can sort of step back, like walk backwards, and they will just fall over in front of you if you've shot like their leg. And then they'll fall on the ground, and as soon as they fall on the ground, I'll be like, with the knife as fast as possible. Just like slicing at the head.
I still haven't figured a lot of that out. I wonder if actually they might have changed the hitboxes for hardcore mode, because it feels like I can't get close to them at all.
No, they won't have changed the hitboxes. They have a big, lengthy grab.
I mean, like you're just sucked in. It's done.
It's like a vortex because
that's what
it's
I've been
an animation.
experiencing.
Like it's an out of control animation. Like it changes the camera and everything. It has to have like really big boundaries because they're so slow.
Like you could go through the door, and like if they're right there, you're done. You better have a combat knife.
And I'm pretty all right, actually. It took a while for me to learn into a new playstyle for it, but I became all right with how spongy these zombies are. Because you really are supposed to get a little creative with what you shoot.
They're the same. Like they're pretty. I don't want to say the same because I haven't played hardcore, but they are definitely not what you expect. Like most of these zombies, unless you're being very generous with your bullets, which you shouldn't, because this game is pretty spare about bullets. They take like a good 7 to 8 shots to the head skeptical.
So you end up playing it more like Dead Space.
Yeah.
Where like
I wish it was Dead Space.
you create entire rooms of like shambling, crawling, dismembered zombies who are too slow to catch up to you.
Ah, I see what you're saying.
But you guys also figured out some cool cheese with the knife, and that I
would
feel
just
like
do
is
my
an
best
important learning curve
like,
to a
get
Resident
them on the
Evil.
floor, because if you get them on the floor, you can just hack at them with the knife at their head.
It buys you a lot of time.
Well, it's not
too.
even that. It just saves you bullets. Saves your ammo.
Well, and
thing
also
is-
we were worried about it, but thankfully the knife is actually pretty durable when slashing. It's when like using the grab save button that it really dips down to like 50% durability from one
Yeah,
use.
it doesn't seem like Breath of the Wild, like you use it twice and it snaps like it did in the demo. I think they changed it a little bit.
I can't do these types of games when it comes down to ammo being conserved. So what ended up happening is I would hoard a lot. So I made sure I was super clean in the way I've killed zombies or ran away constantly, because I feel like that's part of the game. Like if it's not in a spot
running
where
away
you're going to
is
be
definitely part of
returning,
the game.
you
Yeah,
run
running
away.
Like I
that's
have found,
better.
Starting especially like the B run, the second run, where the game gets a little harder, like on purpose.
Ooh.
That I'm just basically running past most of my enemies, which I'll get to as a sort of negative point I don't like. But it's weird because, like, I'm not going to go into spoilers yet because George is still here. But it's a game where the beginning of it is, like, the most perfect survival horror. And it still does the Resident Evil thing, where I don't think it's a bad thing, but it like descends more into madness as you get closer to like the Umbrella stuff. And then the kind of stuff that you have to face or you're faced to task with requires a lot of bullets. So the game just starts handing you bullets towards the end, where you have way more bullets than you ever did in the beginning. And you're kind of like, this makes the game a little easier now. Where was this in the beginning?
I guess because I always... so what ended up happening is I hoarded all those bullets that they started giving you. All those, like... basically, they didn't give you bullets. They gave you more powder. Yeah. I had, like, 12 to 15 of each type.
Are you guys, like...
I had large, I had small, I had white, you know.
You guys ready to start spoiling?
Wait, George, do you like the game?
Yes, so far. I have one big complaint so far. The rest of it...
I know what your complaint
It's like hard
will
for
be.
me to... Yeah, it's probably a complaint a lot of people have. I have had people complain to me about this. I have felt the gripes myself. It's... Who do you think?
He is a scary motherfucker.
Until you start, like, fucking with him and, like, stepping back and forth through the safe room door to get him to stop. I'm reminded of, we're talking about Mr. X. I'm reminded of...
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what the fans are
It's what he's been
calling him.
called since when Resident Evil 2 came out. But he's what? The Tyrant, isn't he?
I remember...
something.
Makes me wonder what they're going to do if they remake RE3 and have to upplay the Tyrant from that game somehow.
Nemesis. Stars.
Oh yeah, the Nemesis, not the Tyrant. Sorry, different D-virus monsters. Boy, I'm getting a lot of details correct tonight. Yeah, no, with how much of a suck radius the monsters in this game have. You know, Matt, that suck radius you're talking about, where the zombies just suck you in, vacuum you from a distance. He can cover entire corridors to himself and force you to take a really long route. And on hardcore mode, that really cuts into your supplies. I kind of like that the pressure's there, but I don't like that he teleports, basically.
Ever
he,
shot him.
Freddy Jason.
I never ever shot him.
Me
in the
neither.
whole game.
And I wish I actually didn't know about him ahead of time, so I would have ended up wasting a lot of ammo on him. That sounds scary and fun.
But you can't kill him.
You mentioned
so
Mr.
You can only
X.
stop him. But it's pointless because...
And I knew that ahead of time, so I never even really
so
tried.
he gets up.
He only did punches to me because I never got too close. And you just run the direction he's not punching.
He will do two
arm he's not
things.
using.
He will either punch you or he will grab you.
Oh, God.
he'll
no.
grab you.
Oh,
he
no,
will
no.
grab you in the face.
Oh.
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 That's insta-death you're talking right there.
He has
That boy's
yowie
strong.
hands. Yeah, he's
He's a big boy.
But
And
yeah,
with a
his
top hat, you know
footsteps.
he means
it's
business.
his fucking footsteps where you're trying to like do a puzzle or you're trying to like clear a room to like make it easier for your life, because this game does like intensity magnificently. This game is like so good at just adding little tiny pieces on the Jenga stack of you trying to keep it all together. And then Mr. X just comes along and he doesn't just pull a piece, he fucking kicks over the tower. And he just like everything, the intensity of his footsteps, the rise in the music, and the fact that you don't know if he's closer or if he's here or not. He doesn't say anything, which is genius. He doesn't make a noise apart from his footsteps. He doesn't like do what Nemesis does and says stars. He is completely silent, and he walks up to you like he's a bouncer in a pub, in like a bar. He just walks up to you like he's going to throw you out of the club. He's just like, dum, 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 dum.
he has a brisk urgency to his step.
Oh my god.
He never breaks out in a full run because he doesn't really
And
need
the first
to.
time you see him,
I like the design
is
of him.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it for
When he
you?
lists,
Is it
Leon.
unscripted?
well, I've seen both the Claire and the Leon one, but in Leon he like lifts the helicopter out of the way.
Yeah.
In Claire,
yeah. Like you're going
yeah.
back, you're like, all right, I'm gonna get to like open some of these doors now with this new key. And homeboy just picks up the freaking helicopter. I'm like, oh no. Oh
It's
no.
just like
I'm
a big
out.
stop sign in the middle
well,
of
it's
these
funny you say that
hallways,
because
and
it's like maybe like 2 hours in or so, like, and I was like panicking the whole time about when he's
How
gonna
are you
appear.
so fat? Oh, hardcore
But
mode.
He's
It was
always
like
chasing me.
5 hours
He never
to me.
appears. He just always chases
see,
me.
but in the
constantly.
second
Yeah,
run,
and then he doesn't
in the
turn
second
off for a
run,
long time.
You meet him within like the first half an hour. Like they throw him right at you.
Oh, I should walk out.
Oh,
They
no.
throw him right at you.
Yeah, okay. We gotta come up with a code phrase here so you guys can get the serious spoiler talk going.
The code phrase is George.
Something you can type in.
Return now.
Oh, come on! No, there's got to be like an element of
I have a dream.
imagination
Banana.
to it.
Banana's always been my code.
I have a dream is our code.
I have a dream. Okay,
Oh god.
I'll accept that. See you guys in a hot minute. When I see I have a dream, I'm gonna rejoin the call.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, Matt, now George has officially gone and he's never going to listen to this part of the show. We can just talk about him for 20 minutes and pretend we talked about Resident Evil 2.
You're right. You're absolutely right. He's not going to edit
He's probably
this, is he?
not, no.
But I'm editing it right now.
He's probably going to avoid
Unless he
this.
does and he fires both of us.
Oh, that would be nice. I do need the money. But no.
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2, I enjoyed it for the most part. Like, it wasn't like I was teasing you in the Discord all week.
You started it and you were like, nope, I can't do this. Nope. Like you said it.
Because he was that way he was chasing me. That part wasn't me teasing. That was he was chasing me throughout the whole time and I didn't know what to do. So I just kept going around trying to figure out, okay, what's the next part? But because I didn't kill a lot of the zombies, and they added in those stupid little the big ones, the ones that crawl on
Lickers.
the roof. The lickers.
I didn't have any trouble with those guys. I only saw 3 in my entire playthrough, and one.
I saw many.
Really, I think Claire. I think Claire has more in her story.
They keep appearing. They once like you get later in the game, and then you go back to certain areas to unlock certain like rooms. Now you have keys and like safe codes or whatever. They spawn there, and it's like just sudden.
Really,
They're
that's
just
so
there.
weird because I only saw 3 in my entire playthrough as Leon, and one was in the one of the dark corridors of the police department, and I had to deal with that, and that scared the shit out of me the first time, and then the second time I saw them was down in the laboratory where all the garden is.
Oh yeah, there was two for me in the freezing process. Yeah, that area
Where you
right
had to
there.
cool the thing?
So yeah, there was 2. with like about 6
Oh yeah,
zombies.
that's the same area I saw them. But I had like
Yeah.
So I killed all the zombies, and then the lickers didn't come. So I managed to kill all the zombies in the room because I knifed them all once I started realizing I could cheese it. So sometimes zombies play dead, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I would
hate
run
that.
up to them.
And I'll just knife them.
Yeah, so I'd run up to them and knife them as fast as I can. So I could clear out like 3 or 4 as fast as possible. So I managed to clear out all these guys without disturbing the lickers. And then as I walked down the corridor towards the freezing bit, I noticed they peered out the thing, but they're blind. So if you're super quiet,
Yes.
I
didn't find out until later. I didn't find out until that part right there is when I found out. And I was like, I wasted so much flame ammo. And that's what I care about. The game is not scary to me or anything. What I'm scared about is wasting stuff. I don't know what it is. That's the scary. That's more scary than anything else that is to me. X was annoying.
Marie Kondo wouldn't get on, would you? Marie Kondo, that new Japanese lady who makes people throw out shit. Yeah,
no.
No, and then I had like a hand grenade. I barely ever used the hand grenades. The grenades were so like flimsy in this game. Like by the time you sort of could pull them out and roll them towards things, those things were already biting your neck, or Mr. X was already punching the shit out of you. But what I did is I just rolled a hand grenade down the corridor towards the two of them because they were standing next to each other. One was on the roof, one was on the floor.
Oh God!
And just blew them apart. And then they obviously took damage and panicked, and then they jumped at me, and I just fucking shotgunned them 3 times, and they died. And I was like, well, that was good.
I don't have a shotgun as Claire.
I don't have the, like, flame rounds as Leon.
I like, we get, like, a grenade launcher. Flame rounds and acid rounds. Really good for, like, the last boss fight. And you get a submachine gun that I never unlocked.
Yeah, and as Leon, you can get, like, a semi-automatic rifle as well. Never found it.
Ooh, Leon sounds better.
No, but I never found it. It was in the STARS office, and I could never find the USB for the computer.
Yeah. So because you needed the gem from the scepter
from the statue, right?
Then you open up with the gem. So you need the book to get the scepter. Then you need to look at the scepter, get the jewel, then you take the jewel and you put it inside this jewelry box. Then inside that jewelry box, there's this badge. You look at the badge turns into a USB. That is the most hot bullshit. I found that out when I could not go back. I was like, man, I finally got this thing, and I looked at the badge, and I was like, oh my god, it's a USB. It's what I needed.
Didn't realize for a while that like I was carrying around these items that you needed to examine, and then they had button prompts on them, and I was like, oh, yeah, because I was trying to find the electrical parts for like the one you can get in the like clock tower, and the one that you can get down in the like basement area.
That clock tower. I grabbed the large gear, and I ran to the clock tower while Mr. X was chasing me, and I'm skipping zombies and stuff, and I go to put it in, and it doesn't fit. Like they put the animation in of you trying to fit it, and I'm like,
because it fits in the other.
I was like, did I miss a part?
No, it fits in the other part.
I did. Yeah, it took me a bit. It took me like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh no, and I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again. I was like, no, this has got to fit. And then when I went upstairs, I realized I'd take the small part out, but the big one.
See, that whole sort of section, right, from getting the electrical parts for the prison to the clock tower, it was like the most intense part of the game for me. Like, I got to a point where I thought I wasn't able to finish the game because I had no bullets, I had no health, and I was sort of like running on like caution health, so 2 hits would have killed me, and I had to get the electrical part, but I had to go into the basement, and I never killed the dogs because I couldn't shoot them because they moved so fast it was just wasting bullets. So I would always. So in Leon's run, like you unleash the zombie dogs. I don't know what happens in class.
Yeah, no. You only see dogs outside.
You see, they are in the car park in Leon's run.
Oh god. Nope. I don't like the dogs at all.
And then you have to go into the prison to get this badge to open the door to the car park. Okay. So the problem is you go into this prison, and as soon as you fit all the electrical parts, it unleashes all the zombies that are in the cages in the prison cells. Now, what happened to me was there was a moment where I went down there, and I knew this was going to happen, but it was the only way I could progress the story, was I put the electrical parts in the thing, opened the jail cell to get the key card to open the car park, and then I turn the corridor, and it goes, and then I'm like, okay, all the zombies are coming out the cages. This is okay. I can deal with it. And then as soon as I turn the corner, all of the zombies and Mr. X fucking staring at me.
Oh my god.
And I was trapped in this tiny corridor of jail cells where Mr. X is trying to swing at me. And the one thing I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, but when Mr. X punches, if he hits a zombie, he kills them.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to...
He killed some of those lickers.
Really?
Yeah.
I never... I think since I've started Claire's second run, I have bumped into Lickers and Mr. X at the same time, which is the most horrific of experiences.
Yeah. 2 lickers and Mr. X is not... not fun.
But the thing is, I ran past all of them, and then I ran into the parking lot, and then I got attacked by the dogs. So it was a whole whirlwind of mess, but thankfully it then cut to a cutscene.
Oh my god. Saved by the cutscene.
Which saved my ass. And I was like, oh, blessed be. Blessed be.
Dude, I had like 20 green herbs when I was done.
How did you have all this hip room? Where was your hip pouch?
Because, dude, I would just avoid stuff all the time. When I got hit, I got pissed. I'm like, no, I need to play better.
Did you die in this game?
Yeah.
I think
died.
I only died during the boss fights. For as intense and not difficult, but as intense as and crazy this game can be, I didn't die so much. I just lost a lot of resources quite frequently.
Yeah. I died during lickers sometimes before I got used to it.
Yeah.
And then, like, getting used to some of these new zombies in the garden, I remember dying for a couple like that.
Oh, those fuckers! But then when you get the flamethrower, well,
yeah, I don't get those, and I wasn't gonna use my flame grenade for that.
Oh, you see, as Leon, you get a flamethrower. You actually get a flamethrower. You don't have to use the.
Leon seems way better. I asked George. I was like, do I play as Leon or Claire? Which one does it matter? Is it the same play?
No,
like,
it's not.
Which one's better? He says, both is both the same. I was like,
no,
okay.
No, he's wrong.
I'll play as Claire because I wanted to play.
No, like,
and I should have
there are
asked
distinct
you.
differences.
I thought.
Well, this is what you get for asking George.
I guess so. You're usually asleep.
That's true. I am usually asleep. No, so basically, there are 2 major distinct differences between the two, depending if you start as them. Obviously, Leon meets Ada Wong, and you have a lot of stuff happen with Ada, and then Claire has a lot of stuff that happens with Sherry, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Leon never sees Sherry, and it's really funny.
Which is kind of
it's really funny because I imagine at the end of your game, when you're on the train, you see Leon. But for when I finish my game, I see Claire and Sherry. And, like, for anybody who's never played the game, they'd be like, who the fuck is this little girl? Like, where did this little girl come from? Just all of a sudden, Leon has never, ever, in the whole of his playthrough, never, ever seen this little girl. He hasn't seen Claire in ages. And all of a sudden gets on a train and there's this, there's this little girl and Claire.
Okay. Let me say this. Claire, she comes to look for Chris, her brother. In the first few minutes of the game, black dude says, oh, he went on vacation, Europe or something. And she's like, oh, okay. That's it. Then she needs to get out. Then she meets some kid that for some reason, she wants to help her.
Yeah, Leon has a lot of dumb reasons as to why Leon is like a green cop. So he's like, he does a lot of stupid stuff. Like, he's like, I'm taking you in. Like, I gotta talk to the chief. And it's like, Leon, everybody's dead, dude. Everybody is
gotta
dead.
talk to the chief.
Yeah.
I gotta talk to the chief.
I gotta talk to the chief before I do this. Leon, the chief is dead, man. Just get over it, dude.
Well, no, the chief is actually alive in my playthrough, and he is dead.
Ah. You see, the black police officer was alive for us.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
But
he stays
no,
alive?
No, he then there is this crazy moment in Leon's playthrough. Not a crazy moment, but a moment where that starting area was always like a safe room, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Claire B, it's not, but in Leon A and in Claire A, I imagine it is like a safe. It's mostly a safe room. But then when he turns, there's a moment when you first time you put all the medallions in and then come back. After going down into the sewers, the first time you come back.
After you see Mr. X.
Yeah, after you see Mr. X. He is a zombie. And he attacked me and I didn't expect it. And then I was like, oh, so I killed him. I was like, sorry, Marvin. Good riddance. And then I'm like, whew. And I took like a moment to breathe and went down to the typewriter to save it. And all of a sudden it was like, dum, 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 dum. And I was like, oh my fucking God, no fucking way. Can he come in here now? And then he's just like stomping down the stairs towards me. I'm like, no, fuck, where do I go? Nowhere is sacred. Nowhere is safe.
I hate it. I hate it. So I was half expecting him to come into like one of the other safe rooms, and I was like, "Oh my God, if he comes in here,
some other safe rooms, he'll just stand by the door, and you can hear him pacing back and forth like an angry father."
It's so messed up. Like, how can I get back to the helicopter? Because he keeps being in the way, so I just had to run past him and take the hit.
One hit, and sometimes like he'll punch you and you won't take damage, and you're like he'll just
like when you're like farther away.
Yeah, he'll just like knock you back.
Like the wind.
like the force of his punch will knock you back.
Mm.
But like it's so weird because from a gameplay standpoint, he's not great. He's like the antithesis of a good game design because he pressures you into like, and you can't kill him. So it's really weird. From a game design standpoint, he's kind of a weird misnomer that doesn't really work. But for experiences and like intensity, he's fucking amazing.
Like it seems like they know the right time. Like they know if they know what you're doing. I don't know if there's like some type of things you could put in. I'm assuming you can. Like, okay, he grabbed the part. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna put it in the jack and release the jack so he can move the bookcases to get across the bridge. And Mr. X doesn't come. He doesn't come in while you're doing it. He comes in as soon as you put it in. And you release the jack and you start moving the bookshelves, all of a sudden the door opens. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that library part was frustrating.
Because you hear the footsteps and you hear like he's close, but you don't hear him come in through the door until boom. That's it, you're done.
And like when, I don't know how he came the second time for you.
Oh.
So he comes in Leon's run after you get the last ID bracelet.
Oh,
like
really?
the last ID chip.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know how you get the ID chip in Claire's run, but you get it.
Oh, it's just
you get it off of like a dead body in a garden from Leon.
Oh no, no! It's like as soon as I reach, I think she gives it. I can't remember. I think the doctor gives it to me. Sherry's mother.
Yeah, Annette,
I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
You see, Leon has to get it off like a guy who's dead in the garden. And you're like doing loads of things to try and like get him to like he's wrapped up in vines.
Oh, that's one of the little chips I need.
Yeah. That's
one of the little chips I need. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last one.
That's the last one. Yeah. And then you have to like do the whole freezing thing to get that. Yeah. I already have the bracelet. Yeah, that's like I don't remember where I got the bracelet, but I know I had it like from the beginning of that underground warehouse.
No, so like
underground
that is
lab.
the last chip. The last security clearance chip, right? So,
and he was dead before that for me.
Mr. X?
Yes.
Really?
And I was kind of sad because I really wanted to fight him. and I wanted them to give me something that could fight him.
See, you say Leon's better, but the way Leon works is that fucker, as soon as you get that chip, he busts through the window at you. And then is chasing you while all those horrible garden fucking zombies are chasing you.
Oh, God.
Right? And you're trying to fucking run out of there and trying to get to the, like, next part. And
one shot to a little pus ball, and then you run across. One shot to a pus ball, run across.
Oh, you see, with the flamethrower, Leon's campaign, those things were easy, because if you burn them, they die forever.
Oh, you're so lucky.
And then
you're so lucky.
And then at the end of the game, when the whole place is exploding, do you have like a 10-minute sequence to run out?
Yeah.
Okay, so Leon is the same, but one of them is like you're riding on like a lift to go down, and then Mr. X jumps on that lift.
Huh.
And then you have a boss fight with him.
Oh my God.
And depending on how much ammo you have, it can be either like incredibly annoying or pretty tough. Like, you only have to keep surviving until a point where you are very Deus Ex Machina convincingly given a rocket launcher. In true Resident Evil 4 fashion, Ada Wong throws you a rocket launcher.
I got a minigun at the end.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you blew him up with a minigun.
No, Mr. X gets absorbed by William, the doctor.
No
which is
way!
Sherry's.
And then you had to do the G fight.
Yeah, so
See,
like
Leon
he gets
has to do the
absorbed
G-
and his little head pops up inside of William.
Really? Holy shit! That is so different to Leon's. Leon's is you have a fight, you meet Annette, and you get the G virus. And Leon says he picks up the G virus in William Burkett's office. He picks up the G virus and he's like, "Huh, that was easy." I'm like, "No, Leon, don't say that. Don't say that." And then as soon as you walk into the next room, you have the fight with the G Tyrant or whatever it is, William Birkin.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I don't know how it plays out for you, but like you end up like in a stage, and Leon, you have to shoot his eyes with
Same
a pistol. But you don't have Mr. X absorbed in him. The way you kill Mr. X is you're riding on the platform, on the like lift down to the train at the bottom. And then you have to survive for maybe 2 minutes. And he's like... Mr. X is like got this giant fucking flame arm that he's like swinging at you and he's going crazy and shit. And then you get a rocket launcher and you blow him.
Why is he chasing you?
Because, as in like in general?
Yeah, like what's the story? Like, I don't get it.
Oh, he's sent in to destroy any witnesses. He is made by Umbrella to kill any witnesses, basically. So he's there to destroy anybody who is still alive, so they can't. I don't know, like.
Man, maybe I need to catch up on my lore because
like
Jesus Christ, I didn't know all that.
tell. So they can't tell on Umbrella, basically.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed Wesker. I like him. He's fun.
Does
I like
Wesker
him.
appear for you in this game at all?
No. But like as far as like design goes, like I enjoy him, and I think Mr. X is actually pretty fun to look at. Like I like the design of him. I wish he was, just being a big strong guy, big idiot. I wish I played the boss fight to kind of really see. Just makes me think of like my favorite like boss fights because I don't really like the boss fights much in these types of games. Even though Resident Evil 7 was actually probably one of my favorites, and the car boss fight is pretty amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed RE2 for what it was. I don't know. I don't know if it's for me though.
I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. Like I loved Resident Evil 4 so much, but Resident Evil 4 didn't have that quite, apart from a certain area where you're going through like freezes, it didn't have that horror, whereas this had horror for like not after you leave the police department. I feel like it becomes less scary, There are still moments like when you go to the laboratory when all the like dead scientists are in there and stuff, and you have the garden zombies and stuff. But for the most part, after that, it becomes quite easy to deal with the fear-inducing elements of this game, and that makes it a little easier because you can just sort of take a breather and be like, actually, these guys are really slow. They're not that hard to deal with. It's fine. But in the start of the game, when you're exploring the police department, and it's all sort of ramping up slowly, and it's kind of like Resident Evil 7 where you're exploring these dark corridors. It is good, but it has like Resident Evil 4 control scheme, and it's great.
Was the little girl's part... Oh, no, that's right. You haven't played Claire's. There's a part where you play a little girl.
See, there is a part in Leon's story where you play as Ada as well.
So
both have parts where you get to play.
Is that an original?
No, I don't think so. I can't remember.
Did you do a weird puzzle that doesn't make any sense of why it should be there?
I mean, isn't that like most Resident Evil puzzles? I mean, you're in a fucking police department that has like puzzles. Yes,
yeah,
it used to be an art museum.
I found that weird. I find all of that just super weird. I'm like, why does this exist?
Why am I getting medallions? Like
opens up a secret passage underground.
Yes, it used to be an art museum, but that still wouldn't explain why the art museum had.
And I say all that to say that I said something last podcast comparing this game to Kingdom Hearts 3 of which story would be better. And I'm going to go ahead and say Kingdom Hearts 3 is
Oh, don't do it, man. Don't go there.
We can bring George back now.
So, no, basically, I really enjoyed it. This like, since I played the TGS demo last year, I was super hyped because it was gorgeous and all that kind of stuff. But now having to play the game, it's better than I thought it would be. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to playing through Claire B. Are you going to do Leon B? Are you going to do the second run? Or are you going to call it quits now?
Maybe after Kingdom Hearts 3, I'll think about, renting it again.
Hey, Matt, only one more day to go, son, as we're recording this.
No, it's only a few more hours to go.
Oh.
Remember, midnight launch over here is 9 p.m.
Matt, are you buying it digitally?
No, I'm buying the physical copy, my friend.
God damn, I thought you could buy it for the podcast account and I could play it.
Oh, shoot. I could do that, couldn't I? Can I do that?
I mean, you could.
Podcast account? Well, I want to get my achievements and stuff. You crazy.
You crazy.
I could send it to you. I could mail it to you.
You could mail it to me after you finished it.
After I finish it.
Maybe we could do that.
Yeah.
Should we? I have a dream, George, back in the room.
Yes.
I have a dream that one day you'll take a shower.
Did I hear some dreams?
George?
Hi, George.
What is the shower? Is this like some inside joke I'm not gonna get because I wasn't there?
Maybe you should listen to that part then.
You should listen to all of that part.
But then I'll... Actually, I mean, if we like put this out on Friday, I have an entire week to...
God, finish it.
To get past.
Finish it.
Oh, yeah, no. My plan actually is to play a lot of the original as soon as I'm done with this one this week. What the hell is happening
Is
back
Raccoon
there?
Police Department, like, fucked up in, like, your real town?
Yeah.
I
lives in a town.
hope not.
He lives...
Jesus
George
Christ.
seems like the guy who lives in a town.
All
He does.
Well,
Georgetown,
anyways,
Georgia.
Hope you guys had fun. I'll be chiming in next week.
We did. We pretended to talk about Resident Evil 2 for 20 minutes.
Next week is Kingdom Hearts.
We just talked about you.
For like, that was almost half an hour.
That we talked about
What
you?
is there
Yes.
even to say?
We have a lot of gripes, George.
Yeah.
How could you have possibly kept it positive for half an hour? Oh my god.
Positive.
Yeah. So
You self-assuming
you guys-
asshole.
Before we move on to the next step, do you guys want to talk about any silly things we've done this week besides play Resident Evil and David Cage games?
Have I played anything other than Resident Evil this week? See, I'm proud of myself for finishing one half of Resident Evil, because I don't even finish games anymore these days.
Well, at least this one's like short and concise. And anyways, I saw a movie I recommend.
It was a damn good 7 hours. It was a damn fucking good 7 hours.
I can't believe it's taking you 7 hours. I'm at hour 9, and I know I'm at that midway point. Anyways,
You watched Spider-Man, right? That's because that's an amazing movie, right?
That was 2 weeks ago.
It's still in theaters, my friend.
Yeah, but it's not in theaters here in Japan yet, so shh. Oh, should I go away for 20 minutes and wait for I Have a Dream?
No. No.
What you should do is watch a movie on Amazon called Hawkeye, aka Karate Cops, at some point in your life after this podcast. Yeah, okay, so this is a George Chung movie from the 1980s. Apparently George Chung was a well-known and well-established martial artist, so of course he got into making movies later on in life. And the reason it's called Hawkeye, not to be confused with Marvel's Hawkeye, but instead the character's name, which is Hawkimoto. Get it?
No?
Hawkeye? Because he's this, like, karate master cop named Hawkimoto.
Oh man, I've never seen a stretch that long since Fantastic Four.
So, once again, speaking of comic book properties, 1988's Hawkeye, aka Karate Cops, I think on Amazon they call it Hawkeye rather than Karate Cops, but I wonder how that worked, because it's always called Hawkeye, aka Karate Cops, is instead of a ripoff on a Marvel property, it's a ripoff of, like, Beverly Hills Cop and Lethal Weapon, and it hits all these beautiful 80s cop movie cliches. In the very first... Oh, no, let me correct myself. In the very second scene, there is a man wearing sunglasses at night that have shoulder shades on them while techno-synthesized saxophone music plays in the background before a shootout scene that's so dark you can't tell what's going on. At some point, VHS, like, tear lines start, like, scattering across the screen, even in the digitized Amazon Prime version. There's an angry police chief who says, "I want your guns and your badges, Hawkeye. You're too much of a loose cannon for this station." There's, like, super racist Japanese stereotypes who are the villains all along, and there's, like, really, really long scenes of characters going up and down stairs because they couldn't fill the movie with other stuff. And there's this, like, really incredibly immature narrative that just plays up Hawkimoto is someone so awesome that he even fills up two archetypes. He's a grizzled, scarred Texas Ranger and a Japanese martial artist somehow, even though they have a scene of him walking into a sushi restaurant and not knowing what the hell he's looking at, even though his name is Hawkimoto.
So while me and Matt was slaving away, finishing a video game, like we should do for this podcast, this is what you wasted your time doing.
I was at the girlfriend's house for the weekend. We watched a silly movie. Oh my god, fuck me.
I'm skipping through some of this. This looks pretty bad.
Oh yeah, the whole movie is also on YouTube.
This is... Woof.
That's how you know it's good, because no one cares to update the rights at this point. But hey Matt,
yeah,
you should skip to 12 minutes and 59 seconds, basically the 13-minute mark, and watch this beautiful bullshit.
12 minutes. I've seen him talking to cops.
During this scene, I want to paint a picture for the listeners, and that is George Chun, a.k.a. Hawkimoto, a.k.a. the Karate Cop, standing in front of a bank in the middle of a hostage situation with a bunch of bad guys pointing guns at him and his crew of cops and the hostages in order to narrowly evade their bullet fire.
But he punches the person being held.
Yeah. Well, he also, like, does a little ballerina spin on the ground.
Did he murder the hostages too?
They never even clarify. It looks like the final, like, climax scene from another movie.
It looks like everyone's dead.
It's really intense, but it plays happy music in the beginning of this movie. It's so freaking weird, and I love it.
Wait. Oh, okay. What happened to the hostage? He punched out the hostage.
We never really find out.
But he clearly punched the hostage. He clearly punched the hostage.
The editor forgot. I mean, have you also noticed how this thing, like, it's mostly shot handheld at eye level? Like, you can see a wobble to the camera in every single shot. They don't even rest it on a surface. It's great. I love it.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic movie. I say, guys, go watch it. I'm pretty sure you will love it. Pretty sure we love it. It's good old George
I have a
Garbage.
dream. Can I return now?
Oh.
Yep.
Wait, you left me to suffer with this?
No, I zoned out. I don't know what you were talking about. You were watching it. I thought you were part of the plan.
Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This 6 a.m. Liam is a lot of fun.
It's 6 a.m. Liam sounds like me.
6 a.m. sounds like 6 a.m. Matt.
Just like zoning out. Huh? What?
I don't think it was zoning out. I just think it was like you were watching it. I felt like I don't have an Amazon Prime account.
Oh, but that's the thing. The whole
And you
thing
start
is on
thinking
YouTube.
about what you're gonna have for breakfast.
Oh man,
And you're kind of listening, but you're kind of
was-
not. You're like,
I
oh
wa-
man,
I
have
actually-
I taken a dump today?
I was
Yeah.
actually thinking about that. Wait,
Yeah.
now I'm actually intrigued to go to that scene that you're watching.
Well, it's too late
Where
now.
The bank robbery. 13 minutes.
No,
You can,
we're not doing this again.
No, we can check it out on the break, so it's not gonna, take up any time.
He tries to punch the robber, but
Oh my god, this is a train wreck. We haven't done a train wreck in a while.
he straight up punches the hostage in the face.
And then like you see the scene where everyone's just laid out and died. Okay. Like what is that?
Why does this movie only have 108 views?
George, you want to go poop?
Backup! I need backup!
A rookie cop facing unspeakable evil.
There's something really wrong here. These things aren't dying. I just blasted this thing, and it's still alive.
One of the most anticipated games of 1998, Resident Evil 2. If the suspense doesn't kill you, something else will.
Everyone's gonna die.
Oh yeah, it's me, innit? Well, you say that, but you fucking started the show with asking me a question. So how about I ask you a question?
Oh, geez, you're putting me on the spot.
I am.
Okay.
George,
Yeah.
I've got a good question for you. Tell me the news for this week.
Oh, well, okay.
Ha! Anticlimactic.
I know, I was, scared. I was like... I thought you were gonna, pull an Amazon on me and ask me how I like my bidet.
I thought you were going to do an Amazon and ask you to watch shitty movie.
Because I love garbage!
How can we sound clip that? Can someone just take... Can someone just...
Okay. Oh my god. You just asked me if I wanted to talk about news.
Just bring in the episode of you saying, I love garbage.
Yeah, can
Just
someone
say-
sound clip that,
Sound
please?
clip that, yeah.
I love garbage!
We need some I love garbage shirts.
I'm gonna suffocate from giggling too hard. Just in the colorful happy dad and son's font.
I love garbage!
I love garbage.
Guys, remember when Metroid Prime 4 was announced with the teaser back in 15?
What's
No.
Metroid Prime?
No, it was
It's
It's
a series of video games.
16, 17. It was 17.
2016?
2017.
17?
E3 2017.
E3 2017. Yes.
never
Well,
played
apparently that got not quite thrown in the trash, but more like thrown in the recycling.
Oh, it got thrown in the trash. This is it got
guess.
thrown in the trash.
Nintendo put out a surprise. Can you call this a direct? Because it was a short video.
No, it was an update video.
An update, yeah, a 3-minute update video in which one of the producers talks about how their current project for Metroid Prime 4 developed
One of their
in-house at
producers.
Nintendo.
That's the president of Nintendo.
The new president of Nintendo, the
their
guy in the suit who
producers.
tells you the company news,
Shinya Takahashi.
said that Metroid Prime 4 was not meeting their standards that they seek in sequels to such revered series as Metroid Prime. Nintendo always strives for the highest quality in our games, and in our development phase, we challenge ourselves and confront whether the game is living up to that quality on a daily basis, he said. He then went to confirm Kensuke Tanabe, producer on the game, will work in trusted collaboration with Retro Studios, all the way in Austin, Texas, who previously developed the original Metroid Prime series and then did like weird stuff like Donkey Kong and Mario Kart that was still really good. So this is like
a great.
It's a real interesting back and forth for the company, and actually I'm kind of surprised they didn't have it in development with Retro in the first place.
Because Retro were working on something else that nobody knows about, but I wonder what's happened to that game now.
Maybe it's oh wait, no, there's already a Switch port of Tropical Freeze coming.
No, Retro were working on something. It was quite well known that Retro were working on something, but nobody knew what it was. This is after Tropical Freeze, because Tropical Freeze was a Wii U game. They just ported it to Switch, so that's been done for at least 5 years or so. So Retro have been doing something, but now I don't know whether Retro are big enough. I mean, Retro might be big enough because they are a Nintendo subsidiary, so they can just have money thrown at them to get bigger.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, do you consider this good or bad news that they can no longer work on their own project and it's now another Metroid Prime sequel, which still feels weird to say because it's been like a good over a decade.
Well, it depends. I mean, you say that, but we're getting Kingdom Hearts 3 in like a couple of hours, so...
Right.
And
it's been over a decade.
Yeah, exactly.
They had their spin-offs.
No, I don't know, because there obviously will have been something that worked out. Retro are a Nintendo subsidiary, so whatever game they were working on prior was also a Nintendo game. The people forget that Retro aren't an independent studio. They are a subsidiary of Nintendo. They make games for Nintendo.
And they've always scored really well.
So whatever game they were working on prior was either a new IP or it was something of a remaining franchise already, and they must have got to a point in development where they can scale back the team, or they have been given finances to make a new team for Metroid. So, but nothing has been reported. So, I would assume they will have a new team that Tanabe-san will put together.
It's interesting in the first place that they are announcing this as news and not keeping it under wraps.
Because I imagine there will be a Nintendo Direct at some point soon, and with E3 this year, the longer it goes on without mention of Metroid 4, it's easier. Because Metroid Prime 4 got announced, nearly 2 years ago now. So the thing is, if Nintendo didn't say anything and they restarted development behind the scenes, and it took another 4 years, like making a game does, it will have been 6 years in total since it was announced to release. So it's best to just come out and be like, hey, look, basically that 2 years of waiting, well, it was for nothing, because whatever game that was, it doesn't exist anymore. We have to start again.
I wonder what those talks were like, like when they decided to go public with this information.
Well, I don't know, Shinya Takahashi, he's the guy who delivered the message, so I imagine he wants to be very forthwith, I guess. He's obviously a new president, he just wants to be upfront about it.
Which is different for Nintendo. Like this is more transparent than the norm out of them.
Well, this is the thing, is I actually couldn't remember a time when they did something like this, and someone pointed out to me that they did something similar for Breath of the Wild, where they delayed it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, and it was Aonuma-san. It wasn't at the time, Iwata-san, or I think maybe Iwata-san had passed away at that point, and it was Kimishima, not Kishimoto, Kimishima, who delivered the message. But, they made an update for Breath of the Wild saying it was delayed. But, Breath of the Wild turned out pretty fucking great from the most part, for most people. What's interesting about this is they never mentioned who the team was before who was working on Metroid. People kind of had hints and assumed that it was Bandai Namco in tandem with Nintendo working Japan side to make Metroid Prime 4.
Bandai Namco.
Because obviously Namco have done a really good job on Smash Brothers. So I feel like them and Nintendo have a really good relationship, and some people just assume they were the ones developing Metroid Prime 4, but Nintendo actually never officially announced who was developing Metroid Prime 4. now. And whatever version that was, that studio, obviously, they're not very happy with.
It's really interesting seeing Nintendo get more transparent as time goes on. Like you mentioned, over the past console generation, since Breath of the Wild's been in development, they've been announcing delays. And I guess that's kind of a transition that might have been happening around the Iwata era when he was doing the Iwata Asks interviews.
Yeah, he was very transparent. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually pretty rare to get a lot of English language behind the scenes game media information before, I want to say like 2006, 7-ish.
Yeah,
and it's just been getting better and better since.
Nintendo, well, the thing is, it's just a slow transition out of Nintendo becoming a more global game company than they were before. They've been incredibly homogenous in being Japanese business focused. They're trying to be less like that now, but, you know.
Yeah, their new marketing campaign actually wants to make it look like they're having fun.
Well, they are having fun making these games, I imagine, and with the amount the Switch is selling, I imagine they're having great fun.
Shall we move on to the mailbag?
I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure, like, it will be worth the wait. It's probably best that a good version of Metroid Prime 4 comes out than a shit one, so just wait a little longer.
Of course, I guess, like my biggest concern is basically, like, the downside of the fan interactions with this news. Like, most of the impressions I've seen on Twitter were fairly positive, but it seemed like they were reacting to some negative impressions I wasn't really seeing.
I didn't see too many negatives. I saw mostly positive.
Right.
But some people are going to be disappointed. But what would you want? Would you rather a bad game come out early, or would you rather a good game takes time?
Fuck them. Rather a good game takes time.
Exactly.
Right.
I agree.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Who cares? It's more to life than just playing games. Get out there.
Oh, yeah, says the man who's avidly waiting for the hours to tick by so he can play Kingdom Hearts.
I can't wait to have Kingdom Hearts in my mouth. Oh, my.
Of all the games where you could have, like made fun of and been like, guys, let's go play sports instead. It's Kingdom Hearts you're looking forward to.
But this is the thing.
God,
Speaking of a game that took a long fucking time but turned out pretty damn great according to reviews, Kingdom Hearts 3 is one of them.
Oh, are reviews out?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, good, cool. That's nice to see early reviews.
Unless you're from the UK.
It was gonna be great. There was no other way. It wasn't gonna be trash. Okay.
It was good. It's made by Tetsuya Nomura. It could obviously very easily be shit.
Yeah, FF15 also took like 13 years to make, right?
Oh God,
Quote,
please, guys, please, don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin this for me.
All right.
I'm gonna be so upset if Matt comes in next week depressed and sad that it's shit.
No, let's not even jinx it.
It's just like Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's so annoying though, because all of the hype around it, I'm being sucked in, and I want to play it now, and I had to know.
It's my childhood. I have
coat.
to play it. It's like RE2 for you guys. I've never played RE2. I don't have any nostalgia for the Resident Evil series. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, Kingdom Hearts, I grew up with it.
But it's not even that. Like, I've enjoyed, like, I've never paid attention to Kingdom Hearts, but when I have flirted with the series, shall we say, and played stuff like Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance and stuff.
Oh, God. Those are weird places to start. Okay.
I know. But that's the thing is I don't care about the lore. I enjoy just the shitty hack and slash combat.
There's no lore.
Wait, did you just say there's no Kingdom Hearts lore?
I mean, there's no lore depending on how much you care, because Barry made a 30-minute video.
And he did an amazing job. Better than anyone else has done.
Yeah. If anybody hasn't seen it, our dad, our son, in spirit, Barry
highly
Kramer,
recommend it.
Made an animated video condensing all of the Kingdom Hearts lore, and it was fucking fantastic. Well done, Barry.
It's because everyone else didn't have a personality when they were making theirs.
Yes.
Barry has a personality. So him telling a story sounds a lot better, and it sounds more like English.
It does. It sounds less like trying to explain a video game, and more someone
like
sitting in a bar.
To you.
More someone sitting in a bar trying to get you to play something.
Yeah,
but
it's
even
more
he
my
doesn't
type
care.
of style.
Yeah.
Way more my type of style. So highly recommend it. Even if you're not gonna play it,
Don't
if you just want to
worry.
get to know how
I don't have
stupid the story
Keyblade,
is.
but I still have my
Definitely.
friends Goofy and Donald. Oh. Well, our allegiance are to the Keyblades.
It's good. It's real good.
It's good. Good job, Barry. Good job, Kingdom Hearts. Let's wait for Matt to cry next week.
Yes, I shall.
Speaking
cry.
of crying, George, do you have more news?
If you would like to help Matt cry... No, fuck that. We're done with the news. If you would like to help Matt cry...
Continue the news.
Send an email to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com.
Now is a good time to send in your emails because January's been a dry January.
We have a lack of questions. We have an adequate supply of dad dens. And
Get your questions
dry
in.
January. I hope you mean in terms of inbox and not game releases, because goddamn.
No, I definitely
This is a
mean
great
emails. I don't mean games because, man,
Yeah, this has been a great January for me so far.
last January was damn good too.
What's the deal with great Januaries
I don't know,
these past few
February is
years?
also looking pretty good. Wargroove is out on Friday.
Wargroove. What the?
Is that like Wargasm,
Wait,
but
you
a
don't know
little more
what
friendlier?
Wargroove is?
No.
I don't know what Wargroove is.
What the fuck?
I'm looking it
We
up
have
now.
the news, but you didn't put in the like Nintendo Indie Direct in here. Like he's so
Crossplay
fucking biased,
confirmed for
Judge. Oh
Advanced
my
Wars,
god!
Like game Wargroove. It's a strategy game
Advanced
for
It's
up to
basically
4
like
players.
it's basically like it's like Advance Wars, but an indie studio made a spiritual successor to it, like Chucklefish, and it's gonna be great. It looks amazing.
Oh, it's Chucklefish?
Chucklefish?
Stardew Valley?
Yeah. They're making an
okay,
Advance
okay.
Wars spiritual successor called Wargroove that looks amazing.
That's cool, that's cool.
God damn, you plebeians.
Well, I like to be surprised by stuff.
Or just
when it
not pay
launches.
attention.
Yeah, it's nice getting pleasant surprises instead of having expectations
Yeah, no,
filled.
Wargroove is out this Friday on Switch and on PC, and I think it comes later to PlayStation 4 and stuff. But it looks amazing. It's basically Advance Wars remade. Like, it's gonna be great. I hope.
Yeah, anyways, I was trying to suck us into the mailbag.
Oh, no.
Like a few minutes ago.
Oh, I'm getting sucked in. Oh, okay. A little explicit. We don't want to get on the bad side of iTunes.
Nah, that's just you in a couple of hours.
Whoa. You know what? You're not wrong.
Goofy.
right.
Come here,
Gorge.
Goofy. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
Jesus Christ! The Bowsette episode was like months ago. Okay, Doug In submits a letter. Doug In says every major fighting game that comes out makes things like execution of moves easier, include things like auto combos. A lot of them have very good tutorials that all try to get new players invested. It's a good thing, but it seems to never actually work. It seems with some exceptions like Mortal Kombat, Smash, and Dragon Ball FighterZ, new players will still bounce off a couple weeks after release. The question here is, do we think it's possible for fighting games to break through that barrier and become mainstream, or will they always be a niche for weirdos who enjoy spending hours in training mode?
I mean, it's really funny. I sense it's that's a good thing, but it never seems to actually work. Except for...
Yeah.
And then
Mortal Kombat,
and considers
Smash,
to name like
Dragon
3
Ball.
of the biggest fighting games of the past couple of years.
Yeah. Smash is
Smash is the
perfection
most-
when it comes
Smash
down
is
to that, isn't it?
mainstream.
Yeah.
It's quite perfection. Like you can't
it
get
also-
a better game to jump in than Smash.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's worth noting, though, that it does have like a fundamentally different control scheme and health system that keeps new
And I would
players
also
like
not call it
a
a
little
fighting
more
game.
mobile and. You fight.
That's me personally.
press
I
buttons
don't
and you
think it
fight
fits
with
into
the
the category.
buttons.
Wait, Smash?
Yeah. For me, Smash is a party game.
Whoa!
That's just me. I'm not trying
That's
to
the
like.
same guy who says items should be part of the experience.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not arguing semantics. I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing
no.
semantics. I just.
You're going down the foxhole.
But it's weird because I don't think any fighting games are mainstream. They are mainstream in name.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Smash,
Yeah.
I would feel is the closest to mainstream you can get.
Yes, I would agree too.
funny. how mainstream and recognizable and widely beloved the Street Fighter brand is, but they haven't had like an actual decades-long history of stellar launches after stellar launches.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Street Fighter 4 was like their... I mean, Street Fighter 2, then obviously you had Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, which as a niche game people loved. And, you know, they then had Street Fighter 4, which was like a rebirth, and that became incredibly popular. But then Street Fighter 5 has obviously has been an up and down roller coaster for everybody involved.
Which is weird, because like normies know who Chun-Li and Ken and Ryu are.
Yeah,
like, they're super
mainstream
duper
in
popular
name,
characters.
But I don't think when it comes to the player base, I can't remember. I don't think Street Fighter 5 even sold 2 million copies. I think it struggled to sell 1.5. I think I could be massively wrong, but Monster Hunter World just completely blew it out of the water within like its first
even
month.
for established brands, there's clearly like a problem here. Somehow Mortal Kombat, Smash, and did Dragon Ball FighterZ do real well?
Dragon Ball FighterZ did pretty decent, but since then I've heard that the player base has dropped off a fair bit. But they announced yesterday that there was going to be the Season 2 Fighters DLC, and they were going to add Videl and Jiren and Super Saiyan.
And I would imagine
God Goku,
that
Gogeta thing.
And Smash
drop off.
There's no Smash drop off. That's for sure.
Smash sticks around for years, which is weird, and that's also why I think the more inevitable result of fighting games getting popular is the drop off rather than the mainstream. Because like there are a few exceptions to the rule, but there are way less exceptions to the rule of that player base sticking around for years and years. Smash and some Street Fighters.
Yeah.
Smash has a weird advantage though. It can draw in 50 different fan bases into one thing.
I think
it's because of the earlier games as well, though. It's not just because this Smash is good.
True. No. It has built up like a fan base over the years.
Yeah.
A lot.
And to me, like, Smash kind of represents just how many different places the fighting game genre could still go, because it's so radically different from the usual like fighting game canon, theology, the motif, the rules that they always must follow can still be bent into really weird, interesting places. Like, remember War of the Monsters on PS2? Like, how it was kind of this third-person, over-the-shoulder action game, but set up with a split-screen mode that had fights that could go on for, like, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how well you're able to control the map. And Smash is so much more successful than other franchises, and it's so different in design, like, starting from the roots.
Yeah. That's why sometimes I just don't consider it a fighting game. It just has a lot more that is different about it than similar.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like if I walked into a bar and said that, I might get beat up. But I know what you mean. I feel the jive of your flow here.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. And I feel like it's not wrong necessarily,
but not quite.
I do think it is a fighting game.
That's fine.
You know, like it's, but I don't think you're wrong to say that it's kind of like, if someone says that it's not a fighting game, I wouldn't argue with them. I'm like,
no,
yeah,
me neither. No,
yeah, it's like,
to answer
I can see that.
To answer Doug's question, though, I feel like the people who make fighting games mainstream are the people who spend hours and hours in training mode. Like Evo has, Evo is one of the biggest competitions in the world now for video games in general. It's fucking hype as hell. But the problem is the fighting game community can never ever just like stick to one game. There are so many multiple games, which splits the community into almost different factions sometimes. Like, you have people who cross over, but there's a lot of like, oh, those guys are the Marvel vs. Capcom players. These guys are the Street Fighter players.
The Melty Blood fans never come out of the bathroom.
Guilty Gear, Melty Blood players. And so there's never like that's why Street Fighter 4 was kind of like a weird moment in time where everybody was playing that game. And Dragon Ball FighterZ kind of started out like that, but unless every single person in the fighting game community there's a game that they can agree on, that they really enjoy, kind of like Street Fighter 4, I feel like Smash is as close as it gets. That's just,
Yeah, I feel like it's possible, and it will happen in the future, that fighting games have mainstream successes as launches. But I think...
Mortal Kombat 11 just had, like, its launch... Not its launch, its reveal party. And it had, like, a huge event around it.
But I think limitations inherent in that genre are going to mean that it's always going to be hard retaining player bases and expanding their scope. Even though it has happened, it was a struggle. There was not a lot of great fighting games for like the PS2 generation
to move on to, which is part of the problem.
We need to rethink the genre archetypes, I think, but more successes could happen if we continue to do as much. We got another question from the real life Cobra. Sent us an email saying, I'm employed in public relations since February, which sounds way lamer than your name would suggest, Mr. Cobra.
And also, is he talking about February since February, as in February of last year, or February of, like, upcoming February?
I want to believe that Cobra is way cooler than a, like, public relations office job kind of guy. No offense, though, if that's the case. It's just with a name like Cobra, you expect a time-traveling public relations office work guy.
And it's Cobra with a K as well, which makes it even cooler.
Cooler, yes, definitely. Cobra asks... I'm employed in public relations since February, mainly for consumer tech. Having written both PR texts and academic papers on video games in the past, I found they're way more enjoyable to write about than the other tech products. My pet goal within the next year or two is to win a gaming client for our agency, which currently has none. Liam, what advice can you give from a client's perspective? Where do game developers go to find a PR agency? And George, what kinds of press and or media work have been the most memorable for you? Any advice on the networking process between gaming journalists and PR people?
Well, it's funny you asked me and...
Yeah, Liam, start us off.
Wait, no, because it's funny you asked me and George this question, whereas Matt has actually done work like this before.
No, I'm good.
Oh, is it still under paperwork lock?
No,
I think Matt's just taking personal insults and not being named.
No, exactly. No, I'm good. I'm going back. I'll be over here, guys. All right, see you guys later.
Sorry, Cobra, you asked the wrong guys. You should have asked that guy.
Liam, where do game developers go to find a PR agency?
Usually, you get delved one by your publisher. Your publisher will either have an internal PR agency, or if you're someone like, I don't know, Devolver or Raw Fury or one of the indie publishers, you might work with a PR company like Evolve, who are one of the more popular ones. Or
Keymailer.
So
you know Keymailer?
Yeah. Or Terminal. They have like a Keymailer system themselves, and it kind of
they're out
out of the hands of game developers for the most part, or unless you do your own PR. Because
actually,
if you're a big hot indie developer like good friend Lucas Pope, where you have enough Twitter followers to just drop your trailer and be like, my game's coming out. You don't need PR. So I feel like you can just stretch out and email people saying what services you could offer to potential indie developers or potential studios. Or the best option, I think, considering you're trying to get a gaming client for your agency, is to speak to publishers. Speak to people like Devolver and Raw Fury and those guys who sometimes do their own internal PR, but then sometimes if they want to have bigger launches or do sort of bigger stuff, they will reach out to a PR agency. That would be from my standpoint. Matt knows more about this. Mm-hmm. Matt did shit like this.
I don't know if I know more specifically about like the gaming though.
No, but you know more about doing PR and marketing though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How would you reach out to a client, Matt?
See, the thing is, the way I did it was going.
Take him to Vegas.
The way I would do things, it was go face-to-face meeting every time. I never like doing phone calls or emails because I feel like that's not like it's not personal, But the thing is, not everyone wants that, especially here in California. A lot of the people here who own businesses are very they're different than the East Coast. Let's just say that they're different from East Coast. The people are a little bit more friendlier, I feel like, in the East Coast compared to the West Coast. But yeah, I usually go face to face. I'll set up a face to face meeting. We'll talk. Get some lunch or something like that. But yeah, that's mostly how I will begin. I guess like talking with someone. But mine is different from what you're doing here. I feel like you're kind of setting a pitch when I'm kind of working into like the benefits, and I guess that's kind of like a pitch, but like for some reason here it feels like more of you're like saying an email pitch, like, oh, here's what I can provide for you, whereas more like it's kind of like a push and pull type thing. It's like, oh, you can carry this product into your place. This is the benefits of this. This is what we can do for you, blah, blah, blah. But doing that face-to-face, I feel like, is a lot better. I don't know if you have the luxury to do that with your job.
Which nicely folds into, like, my advice, which is to hit the con circuits in your local area. Mm-hmm. And that is like a great shortcut to establishing that face-to-face, because a face-to-face is a way more memorable way to show off your game and ultimately like whatever weird experience you're actually doing with the member of the press. And the reason why I think the con circuit is really important is because influencers flock to them. Like at a PAX East, you're not just going to have a standard lineup of mainstream gaming journalists from IGN and GameSpot. You're also going to have like YouTubers and weird eccentric bloggers like Tim Rogers hanging out there as well. And it's a great opportunity not just to show your games with them, but to also network with them, establish a like persona and a rapport with them so that they know what your style is as they continue to write about your future projects.
Yeah, sometimes people want to see a good person, a cool person.
Someone they can trust.
Some type of text. Yeah.
Someone they can trust with their product. I mean, he's already done work in the past, so I imagine he kind of understands that. Just treat it like your consumer tech, I guess. Just treat them like humans and be enthusiastic about their game, their product.
No, don't overdo it.
Don't be like Matt and be the most enthusiastic man in the world. Like if Matt was trying to pitch to like Square Enix, look, I can do the Kingdom Hearts 3 PR.
Oh my God, I would. What I would do.
He would gobble that right up.
Yeah. I'll put some like rap music in their trailer.
Some Skrillex.
Because this is like this huge like anime following. Anime like, you remember back in the days where they had like Evanescence and rap videos and stuff, like rap music with anime and Kingdom Hearts and all those Dragon Ball Z. You didn't grow up in that time?
Oh yeah, AMVs.
AMVs. That's what they were called.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You would just do AMV for marketing.
AMVs, man. People be like, yo, I remember that 12 years ago. Yeah. Oh, man. Let's bring back nostalgia. Let me go buy this game. Where's the next GameStop or Best Buy or whatever freaking place you buy games these days?
Funko-Land.
Game Land.
We got another question from Josh K. Last but not least, I'm wondering for all three of you, what is the weirdest thing to have set off inspiration for a project?
I like soccer and I like chess.
Wow.
A friend of mine showed me the Burn Your Fat With Me cell phone app, the anime girl game, where you touch on the cell phone to do one sit-up, and a romance develops between the two of you. And that inspired the whole big video essay about fitness games and how fun it is to explore that whole interesting world that has existed for a while. And that was wacky. I also want to say that at MagFest, at the convention circuit again, I had a drunken room party with the guys who were shipping around the Nintendo PlayStation to the various cons, and that's how that video started up as well.
I mean, like most ideas come from parties.
Stuff. Right. They're professional. That's why you can tax right off a convention.
Exactly.
Man.
Any others?
What about you, Matt? What's the craziest shit
chess.
you've made?
I'm looking through my videos to see if I have one. See if I could spark something. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind was the poop particles thing. that stupid video I made.
Is that because of George? Is that because of your friendship?
George. It was because of George. No, I can't think of anything ridiculous. I mean, Yandere was ridiculous in itself. Yeah, but yeah, no, nothing too ridiculous.
Well,
I'm boring. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
How are we gonna wrap this up if it ends with like that? It's just like dribble in there. The end of it. It's we need to end this with a bang, not a dribble.